our community needs to re-strategize. And one way for us to re-strategize is to individually, personally invest in ourselves. Today we have a special guest that has a sad story, one about upbringing, one about family. You know, family, they say, should be the backbone of everyone. But what happens when your backbone becomes your pain bone? This is the story of our guest. And for record purposes, we'll just be calling him Victor on this show. Good morning, Victor. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine.
Thank you for coming on the show with me. I just want our viewers to understand you and understand your upbringing and the kind of parenting you had and why this has, after how many years now, let's say 20 years or more, has begun to affect you psychologically. So tell us about your upbringing. What was being a child like for you? What was your childhood memories?
Okay. I was brought up by both parents, my mom and my dad. So, my mom my dad was disciplinarian. He was strict and all, to the extent that he doesn't care about anything concerning his children. So, he's a kind of father that we don't allow his children to keep friends. We don't keep friends. We don't go out. We go from school to the factory, then go back home. Each time he wants to beat us. For instance, now those day I came to his office late. So that day he didn't tell me anything. So later in the night he just brought out the chain. He chained me, then he used this high tension wire. He started using it to beat me. Other days, every time he has used guns. His guns to threaten others.
He has. So you mean your father used the gun to threaten you out of his house? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
So where was your mom when all these were happening? What did your mother say?
She usually follows. Anytime we are running, she follows us. But she can't be there and be chasing us around with guns. So she will just follow us and we run outside the house. Then we close the gate, and we sleep outside. Then the next morning we come back to the house. She can't tell anything, she's calm. It trained us with this kind of something quite some time, but always is steady. So that's it.
And while growing up, was there a time you decided to confide in somebody to say, okay, this is what is going on in my house? So did it kind of affect your academic grades? Did you have issues with school? Did it affect any other?
Yeah, it affected my academics. Well, while I was in SS1, I was an art student. So when he found out, he did a lot. He would come back in the night and frustrate me. So while first term finished, then the second term, he forced me to enter the science department. I entered the science department and it was very, very hard for me. He chose a course for me, he chose a course for my sister. And now we're done with our secondary school. We enter university now is a problem because I don't know why he just wants us to work for him and him alone. He doesn't want us to go to school.
So your father owns this.
Telling other people.
Go on.
No, we're scared. Let me just put it like that.
So your father literally picked your courses for you, which literally picked your career for you. Literally says, I want you to continue working in my factory. If I may ask, what kind of factory, without telling us the name, but what's in this factory? Yeah. Is it a clothing factory? Is it a farm? What kind of factory is this?
Okay, he owns a factory where he produces ribbon attachments, hair extensions.
And your father wants you to continue working in this extension factory. And
yeah,
we talk. So we've talked about how it affected your grades and everything, but who did you people confide in to say, okay, this is what is going on? Have you guys ever? I know the fear is there, but have you ever like had a family meeting? Your grandparents, your grandmother, your mother's mother. Have they ever been a family meeting concerning these issues?
Yeah, they know about it. All of them, my aunties, my uncles, my grandparents. Yeah, they all know about it. But nobody can stand up to me. I don't know why. They are all scared. Just like us, they are all scared. But we are more scared. But they can't intrude, like they can't say anything because it's not their family. So you just have to, according to my mom, you just have to cover across. So nobody is saying anything. Anybody that tells him the truth automatically becomes his enemy.
Now that you're a full-grown man, you've seen how your father raised you.
What do you say?
You, I say now that you're a full-grown man, you've seen how your father raised you. You know who your father is. Your father is not changing anytime soon. Why haven't you left home? Why haven't you run away?
My mom is just one thing I can't leave just like that. And my siblings. If I go, it will still continue. So I don't. I think there's no need of me going because I have little ones. So if I go, it will still continue and it will prevent that anger of me living with them. So I don't want to just like put everything on them. And because I know it's going to affect all of them, it's going to affect them.
But your father has literally used canes on you, he's used wires on you, he's even brought out his gun, which is fully loaded, and almost cocked it at you, which is you are living in a very dangerous
Yeah,
environment. In short, you doing this interview with me is more life threatening than anything, because if he ever gets to find out you are having this conversation, his anger may sprout out. There is gonna be a day when he's gonna lose it, and you may not know what may happen that day when he loses it. What are you going to do when he finally get lost?
I don't want to do when that happens. But we have tried reporting into the human rights, child abuse, all this stuff. But during the process, my mom just said we should stop, that she's not comfortable with it and she's scared. So we just have to stop. But we usually like we try to do with it. It's like we're going to report it. But he doesn't seem concerned, like he's not concerned. We tell them that any case we bring up is going to close the case. So I don't know if we have anybody to just stand for us. So that's it.
It's really a sad environment. It's really a sad tale.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. It's really sad with what's going on with you and your family, but at the same time I feel like there is a choice here, because like your mom chose to remain in that marriage regardless of how this man is treating her children. I feel like there is an option, which is divorce. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be far far better than living in bondage. I feel you have the option also to leave, but you choose not to leave, and your life is at risk if you like it or not, because that man has a weapon. That man abuses you, your mother, and your sibling anytime he wants. He's out of control. He has an anger issue. Now let's talk about your side as a queer person. How have you been coping as a queer person, knowing that you have this kind of father and you are built this way? How have you come in terms with the both side of your life?
Mm, that's been very hard though. Very, very hard. There was a time that he kind of knew, but mm, that was very so that period was very dramatic. So I just tried all my possible best to behave as straight as I can whenever I'm with him. So this happened years back.
So how did he
Because then
find out?
I usually use my mom's phone to watch the queer porn. So um She went through her history once and she saw it. Then she was like, I'm the only one that usually uses her phone. So she was very angry. So while she was talking, my dad did it, then he brought up the case and started, he did a lot. He did a lot. He would come back in the night and
yes.
look at me, use his chain me down, then pour alcoholic drinks on my body, and use wire to beat the hell out of me and leave me naked dirty the next morning. I've done a lot. He will bring out his cutlass, use it to beat me. He did that for almost 3 months. Then the following month, I went to beg him. Um, After I begged him, he said he would watch me from then. So I started becoming straight. Like whenever I'm with him, I'm always straight. So I think he has forgotten about it now. I'm not sure. But my mom knows. But she's kind of scared. But she's a little bit comfortable with it.
With all these whole things surrounding you, your sexuality and everything, what do you feel, how do you feel you can overcome this? Because like I'm pretty sure suicide has come up, I'm pretty sure depression has come up, I'm pretty sure anxiety is also there. How are you dealing with all these, feelings, emotions?
Okay, I listen to music. I listen to music. I love Igbo music. Yeah, I love Igbo music. So I listen to music. Yeah, and whenever I'm listening to it, everything just goes away. Like I don't just remember anything. For that time, I don't remember anything. Just like when some men takes alcohol to forget that pain. Mine is just music. I just listen to music to forget everything.
And the one sad thing about, forgetting things is that at first it's very helpful. Dealing with my own anxiety, dealing with my whole drama coming out, growing up, being bullied at school. I decided to start forgetting most of those things. But now at an older age, I've discovered that I can't even remember the things I wish to remember. Because once I forget, I don't choose which side to forget. My brain automatically forgets the whole thing, which makes it difficult to retain any form of information. I feel this is the trauma we as LGBTQ people go through. I would love to have this conversation more, but I have to leave at this point. But we'll still have Victor back on another episode to have a more detailed conversation on how we could help and how we could forge forward. But back to why people having traumas, post traumas, anxiety, depression. I feel it's hard time we begin to choose our environment. We have the ability to choose, and we can only choose when we've come of age. We can only choose when we come of age. We can only choose when we are financially buoyant. We can only choose when we choose to choose, or when we choose to take ourselves out of that situation. When we say enough is enough, I have had it. I don't want to continue. I don't want to be belittled. I don't want to be marginalized. I want to be who God has made me to be. I want to choose those that I will surround myself. And it is very, very important that we do. And I'm just going to come a bit from the Christian side. We all know Jesus. Jesus picked for himself 12 people that he wanted to surround himself by, and that is the best thing we can ever get from the story of Jesus, picking the people that are surrounded by you. And when Jesus picked them, he asked them a specific question. If everybody has an opinion concerning me, but what is your opinion concerning me? And they went forward to say, oh, you are this and that. But the point here is that when you pick people who have a good positive opinion, who praise you, who have good energies around you, who tries to make you get to your full potential, you will live a better life. And sometimes these true families are not the people we are related by blood. They could be strangers just watching us from another screen. Thank you for watching. This has been one-on-one segment, and I have had a lovely time with Victor. We are still going to talk about parenting and queer sexuality on another episode with Victor, but for now, this is it. And like, subscribe, kudos, God bless you.